Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany with Creation, and welcome to our virtual experiences. We're so glad you've joined us today. Just a reminder that the top tipper will win a 5-minute one-on-one video call with Gil right after the panel. So make sure that your top supporter information is updated in your account. You know him for his roles in Friday Night Lights, Once Upon a Time, and so many others, but he won our hearts as Henry from our beloved Supernatural. Please welcome Gil McKinney.
Hey guys, it's me, Gil. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you guys are coming from, but it's good to see you. Actually, I can't see any of you. I'm coming to you live from my garage. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just such a lovely garage. It's the only place in my house right now that I can have just a modicum of privacy. I've got my mother in the house, as well as my wife, obviously, and our 2 kids. And that makes for an interesting Saturday morning. I was up early with the baby, let the wife sleep in, because that's the kind of husband I am. Anyway, thank you so much for doing this and for being here, and thank you to Creation for having me. I miss the convention so much, so this is a decent substitute, I suppose. I do miss seeing all your faces and just seeing the crowds of people, the throngs of fans. I miss the concerts, Loudon Swain, and all my fellow actors that I have been blessed enough to meet and hang out with over the past 4 or 5 years. Not only from Supernatural, but also from Once Upon a Time. And I just got to say, I look forward to getting things back on track. Hopefully next year. I hope everybody's staying safe. Everybody's healthy. Hopefully nobody's gotten corona. And if you have, I really hope it wasn't that bad for you. This has just been the weirdest year. So many awful things have happened in 2020. The one blessing highlight for me really is the birth of our son back in March. He was born March 29th, like a week or 2 into this whole crazy global pandemic nonsense. And it's definitely changed the way we live our lives now, whether we like it or not. So I hope you guys are in a good place and staying safe and happy and are surrounded by people you love. And yeah, I'm here coming to you live from my garage. See, he's just like us. He has a messy garage. And he wears Mickey Mouse t-shirts on occasion because it makes his daughter smile. All right. I think we have some questions lined up here. Let's see. Teresa DePiero. What has been your favorite character to play so far? Well, I mean, if I'm being, yeah, I probably the one I just played, but maybe that's because it's still so fresh. I was lucky enough, I've been home for, I guess, almost 2 weeks now, but I got to go to Canada, 3 hours east of Toronto, to the Thousand Islands and shoot a little horror movie up there. And it was a blast. I mean, there's really just two characters in most of the film, myself and the girl that played my wife. And so it was a big role, a challenging role, a lot to do, a lot that I was very uncomfortable with, in the sense that I was stretching myself, I guess, for lack of a better term. Yeah, and I think we made a really, really special movie, and I'm looking forward to having you guys get to see it because it's going to be, I think, very different from most of what I've gotten to do. And yeah, just to give you one little tidbit, I was like half naked in part of it, so that's new. Um, and I haven't even told my wife a lot of what I got to do, had to do, um, just because it's better she doesn't know. She'll find out later. I told my mom that she's probably going to want to sit this one out. There's going to be some things that might make her cry, like Rich and Rob said. We're always making our moms cry. Kings of Con. Oh man. Yeah, there's one scene where you might see my butt. That's just what I'm saying. So if that's something you're not into, then maybe it's not a movie for you. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then I would say, other than that, that being my most recent role, um, God, I mean, Henry Winchester is definitely up there. My only regret around that whole character is that I didn't get to do more with him. Same could be said for Prince Eric. Like, dream role, so fun to play. Just always wanting to do more, and so that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to do more. I'm always happiest when I'm working. Okay, next up, defy normalcy. What has been your quarantine guilty pleasure? My quarantine guilty pleasure. Oh, I mean, I've kind of gotten away from binging so many shows, but I think initially it was kind of like, great, I don't have to leave the house. I'm not supposed to go anywhere. I just need to stay home. And so I definitely watched a lot of TV, a lot of Netflix, not a lot of HBO, a lot of Hulu, a lot of Amazon, all that good stuff. Probably had a minute there where the drinking became a bit of a guilty pleasure. Like, and I don't think I'm alone in that, which is the only reason I'm sharing that with you. Don't tell anyone. But that definitely was a guilty pleasure there for a while. It was kind of like, oh, well, it's okay to have a drink at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I mean, there's nothing else going on. And then after a while, I was kind of like, yeah, I can't sustain this. I gotta get healthy. So yeah, that was definitely up there. A lot of hanging out in the hot tub. Got the hot tub up and running, which is a great way for me to relax, and my daughter is kind of swimming, kind of. I guess it qualifies. Anyhow, okay, Outlander for life. Any funny stories from the Kings of Con set? What was it like with Richard as a director? Wow. um, a lot of, I mean, it was such a fun little shoot, and you guys know Richard and Rob are two of the funniest people in the world, and definitely two of the funniest people in my world. Richard is the kind of guy, like, if I could pick anybody to direct anything, whether it's comedy or drama, I would probably pick Richard. Um, I look up to him. Don't tell him that I'm saying any of this, but I look up to him immensely, and he's just, not only is he a fantastic actor and human being, great husband, father, all these attributes that I really admire, but I really think that he's a phenomenal director, and an incredible MC. Like when he used to do all the emceeing at the conventions. I mean, nobody could do that. I always said, Richard should have his own show. He should have like a variety show that he hosts, because he's just hysterical. One of the quickest people wittiest people that I know. You know, gosh, when Josh Myers was eating the potatoes au gratin, I believe it was, in that scene, and we're all sitting around, I was just, it was so hard not to laugh. And I think there's even some outtakes of us just dying laughing. Most of what I've gotten to do in my career is like not funny, darker, heavier stuff, which is enjoyable on some level. But there's something really, really fun about being able to go to work and just laugh, you know, and not take yourself so seriously. So Kings of Con definitely provided that. And man, I hope we get to do more one day. Mars and Virgo. If there was ever an LA Noir sequel and you could reprise your role as Jack, how would you like his story to continue? Huh. You know, well, for those of you that don't know, gosh, I don't even know how long ago it is now. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 10. I don't know. I've lost track of time. I did a video game called LA Noir. I had a pretty substantial role in it. Character's name is Jack Kelso. And if I remember, there are five cases in the game. And by the time you get to the fifth case, you end up playing Jack Kelso as the lead character. So you can actually play me and like run around with me and like get in cars and you're trying to solve all these cases that are going on in like post World War II Los Angeles. Yeah, gosh, it's been so long since I've really thought about that story. You know, when we were shooting, the producers had told me, they said, look, if there is going to be a sequel, like Jack would be the lead in the sequel. And I was very excited about that, you know. Unfortunately, I think the game did fairly well, but the sequel got scrapped for whatever reason. I don't know all the details, but I think there was some sort of disagreement between Rockstar Games and the producers. And anyhow, the sequel never happened, obviously. But if it did, I would love for Jack to, you know, stay on the side of good and right, and try to make Los Angeles a better place to live. Right, Princess? I love playing that character. It was fun. A lot of work, though. Doing a video game is a lot of work. Oh my gosh. So many lines. Got to wear like the motion capture suit and really like use your imagination, which I find fun and challenging in acting. But yeah, one of the hardest jobs I've ever had. Evelyn Gennardi, I hope I'm saying that right. Evelyn, now that you are a father, what is your take on Henry leaving John like that? Whoa! Wow. What is your take on Henry leaving John like that? Man, that's pretty loaded. Obviously, like being a father, there's nothing like it. Being a parent, I tell people that are thinking about doing it, don't. I'm just kidding. I say, you know, it's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but also the most rewarding. It really is like there's no love like the love for your child. And people say that and it sounds nice or whatever, but like, you know, as much as I love my wife, like your kids are like it's another level. So, you know, I don't think Henry, you know, wanted to leave his son, and I think he wanted to reunite with him, and make things right. Just never got the chance, which is kind of sad. You know, I can't imagine not being there for my kids. You know, I'll never understand how a parent could not raise their children. You know, I mean, it's a pain in the butt, don't get me wrong. And I'm tired all the time, but you know, those little moments that you have with your kids are just they're priceless. So we have a 4-year-old girl now, Vivian, and a 7-month-old son, Cameron, and yeah, it's a blessing. And I am done having kids. I know that. I know that for a fact. No more kids. Okay, let's see here. Furfur. How was the recent filming in Vancouver? Was filming very different with COVID restrictions? Well, Furfur, we were actually not in Vancouver. I love Vancouver. Um, I love shooting in Vancouver. It's one of my favorite cities, but we were actually 3 hours east of Toronto in the Thousand Islands, which is a string of 1,000 islands, some larger, some literally so small that you could barely fit a little house on it. But there would be like a little house on just a little tiny island. And it's a string of islands along this river, the border between the U.S. and Canada, and it was beautiful. I was there for 4 weeks. Every day the leaves changed. You know, when we got there, it was really green. By the time I left, it was just so many colors, oranges and yellows and pinks, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Um, yeah. So what was your question? Oh, the COVID restrictions. Yeah. So it was a little different. We didn't have as strict of COVID protocol as some shoots that I've been hearing about. I did have to quarantine for 2 weeks before we started working, which was interesting. So we were shooting on a semi-private island, and so myself and three of the other Americans working on the film, we all went there 2 weeks before shooting and lived in the cottage on the island for 2 weeks, just to make sure that we all made it in from the U.S. because you know the U.S. They wanted to make sure we all made it in, and everybody was safe and healthy, and there was no COVID. So we did that, and thankfully it all went great. No issues whatsoever. The crew was about 25 people, all Canadian. I believe they were tested prior, and then once we were all together on the island or at the hotel across the water from the island, where we all stayed for the 2 weeks of shooting, I mean, everybody was just at work every day. You know, they were taking temperatures and all that fun stuff, but no issues whatsoever. So I'm really, really grateful for that. If ever, I don't know. Hi, Gil. Did you take anything from the set as a keepsake? Huh. Did I take anything? The only thing uh, I took like a pair of jeans and a button-down shirt. And not that because they were that cool. I mean, they're fine. The jeans are, I think, from Costco. They're like Kirkland jeans. It's a low budget film, you know. Got to do some shopping at Costco. Yeah, I just took a pair of jeans and a shirt because you know it's nice to get free clothes when you can. And I don't have many button downs. I just mainly wear a lot of t-shirts. So I think that's really all I took. Most everything else that I had or touched or used was probably covered in blood or God knows what by the end of the shoot. It was a pretty wild 12 days of shooting. But had just the best time. Honestly, one of the best times I've had working on anything. Outlander for life. Was the set of ER in Grey's Anatomy similar or different? Oh wow, interesting question. I would say different for sure. But I also have to say I spent way more time on the set of ER than I did on Grey's Anatomy. You know, I did 20 something episodes of ER over 2 seasons, and with Grey's I just did 1 episode. But from what I remember, I mean, they were similar, you know, TV hospitals, but I just think there was something about ER to me that was, I don't know, like just maybe a bit more raw, you know, like what you see on the TV when you watch an ER. That's it. That's what it looks like. It's not. I don't know. I feel like Grey's maybe, and correct me if I'm wrong. Someone will, I'm sure. I feel like Grey's was, I don't know. It just had a different look, a little bit of a different look or feel to it. You know, more of that McDreamy, McSteamy thing going on. But both great sets, you know. But like I said, like ER was, you know, when I walked onto that set for the first time, I'll never forget it. It was like it was just a dream come true, you know, because when ER started, I was in probably the 8th or 9th grade, and I remember watching that show and being like, I want to be an actor. I want to do that. Like, because at that time it was so groundbreaking. ER was. So then, you know, cut to all those years later, getting to walk onto that set and be a part of that family was really, really awesome. And I miss it all the time. Yeah. Let's see. Sarah the Pearl, how do we help you break into cozy rom-com Christmas movies? Do you want to do those? I need that in my life. Okay. It's funny that this is something that's been brought up to me recently a few times. And, you know, I can honestly say I can probably count on one hand how many of those Hallmark Lifetime kind of movies I've actually even auditioned for. And I don't know why I know it's the kind of thing that, from what I hear as an actor, once you're in that world or in that, you know, they like what you do, then you kind of do more and more and more and more, because they make so many of them. And it's not that I wouldn't enjoy doing that, because I keep saying I want to do a rom-com, you know, even if it is a little cheesy. I know people love them, and they're fun to watch and they're fun to make fun of. And I get why people are into them, you know. The stories are pretty much always the same, you know. It's like you could tell me the plot of one of them and it probably fits to 10 others at least. So I'm definitely open to it, but it's just not anything that's really come across my plate in the, you know, 15 plus years I've been acting. But I'd be open to it. I put myself on tape for one, I don't know, a couple months ago. Didn't get it, but yeah, I'm not against it. And how do you need to help me break into? I don't know how. I mean, write to the producers of the show. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know anybody in that world. It's really just a matter of my agent or manager seeing something that I'm right for and submitting me, and then, you know, sending in a tape. But I know it's kind of a tough one to crack into. Okay. Mariah Allen, would you do another hometown tour if SPN Con comes back to Houston? Oh, hey, Mariah. I remember you. Would I do another hometown tour? Possibly. You know, I mean, I had so much fun that day. You guys were such troopers. For those of you who don't know, this was, I don't even know what year this was, 2017, I think. We did a bus tour, left Houston, drove to my hometown of Angleton, which is about 45 minutes south of Houston. So I'm actually not really from Houston. I'm from the outskirts. And I took a group to the house that I grew up in, which my mom actually just sold about 6 months ago, which was very sad to know that you're never going to go into your childhood home again. It was very sad, but also I'm really happy now because my mom has shown me some pictures of this cute family that's living in the house, and they have a couple kids, and they've really made it a home. And it's just nice to know that there's, you know, new life in that house because it's a special place. Anyway, so yeah, so I guess I would be open to doing something. I don't know that I would want to go back to my hometown of Angleton. Probably shouldn't go by the house I grew up in. That would scare the crap out of them if we went and knocked on the door. Having you guys on the front porch, that would frighten anyone. I'm just kidding. Oh, but I also did love eating all that Tex-Mex with you guys, and then making you walk around that park for an hour. That was fun. Tina Lover 2020. What's the music doing? Any plans when all this crap is over? Quite honestly, the music is kind of on hold at the moment. Yeah, I look forward for all this crap to be over, and to a bit more normalcy to come back to our lives. Something will definitely happen. Hopefully later this year. Or, oh shit, we're already in almost November. It'll probably be next year. Yeah, right now I've just been, at home a lot. Other than getting to go to Canada to shoot this movie, I've just been at home, raising two little ones, and just trying to stay positive. And it's been a challenging year for that. I know it's been challenging for a lot of people, but I'm not going through what a lot of other people are going through. Frontline workers. We've been lucky enough to not get sick, thankfully, knock on wood. Hopefully you guys have been safe and healthy, and wearing your masks when you're in public and all that stuff, because this thing just needs to end. I know everybody's tired of it, but they just got to get a better handle on it. So anyhow, but just try to be patient with me. There will be more music. Yeah, I think I've missed being around, Loudon Swain and Jason and all those guys, doing Rockwood, having that extra like juice and motivation to be creative with music. Sometimes I need like that extra push that my peers can give me. So just be patient with me. Okay, Claire. Hi, Gil. Lovely to see you. Which of the shows you've binged recently would you like to join as a cast member? Oh man. I'm absolutely obsessed with Perry Mason on HBO Max, HBO, whatever it's called now. If you haven't seen it, it's Perry Mason. It's like my favorite genre in the world, that like film noir set in Los Angeles. Speaking of LA Noir, it's a TV series that reminds me a lot of LA Noir, like the look of it, the characters, the way it's shot, but heavy subject matter, but has its light, really smart moments of humor. It's not like laugh out loud funny, but you get a chuckle here and there. And Matthew Rhys, I don't know if you know who Matthew Rhys is, but one of my favorite actors right now. He's absolutely brilliant as Perry. Yeah, so I would love to step into a show like that. That time period, 1930s, late 1930s, I believe it is, Los Angeles, murder mystery kind of thing. Perry Mason's he's a gumshoe. He's a private detective that gets his law license and becomes a prosecutor in the DA's office. And so it's kind of got a lot of that wrapped up into it. And anyway, I just love the look and feel of it. And yeah, it's absolutely, it's something that I would hope to be a part of one day. So we'll see. Lisette, hey, how are you? What do you miss about cons? Well, I was telling my meet and greet earlier. Someone reminded me about the big beds, the king size beds, all to yourself. I definitely miss those. The quiet, clean hotel room. I'm not like a neat freak, but I do like things kind of in their place. And when you have two small children, like it just doesn't happen. Um, like you'll drive yourself nuts if you're just constantly picking up after your kids. So you have to kind of let, as you can see, some of the mess just lie because, you know, it is what it is. You got to embrace the chaos, as they say. Let's get a little closer. Yeah, so I miss sleeping mainly, having the ability to take naps. It's one thing I love about the creation shows is they definitely work you. You know, you have your commitments, but you do also have some downtime for a little R&R, which is, you know, which is much needed. Other than that, I miss the Saturday night concert. You know, I miss playing music with all those guys and girls. It's just, you know, such a blessing, and we have so much fun. And you guys are so amazing as a crowd, and give us so much energy, and it just feels special. You know, so yeah, I miss that a lot, and you know, hopefully we'll get back to that in June of next year. It'll be nice to reunite with all of you guys and all my castmates, convention mates as well. So if things are on track for that, maybe that can be a goal for me to have something new for you guys at some point by next summer. Yes. Do you guys want to see a baby real quick? All right, so being shy. This is Cameron. This is Cameron. He's 7 months old now. Hey, buddy, look, Cam. It's like that light is bright. Oh, look over here. What's this? Give him a smile. Yeah, go for it. All right. You gonna go for a walk? He's gonna go for a walk. All right. Let's see. Mars and Virgo. Which do you think it was your most embarrassing role in terms of acting? No hard feelings. I loved every single role of yours. Oh. All right. Time out, guys. Can you guys?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay. Watch out. There's a Sammy.
Yeah, I'm not taking Sam. No.
All right, you can leave him. Where's Viv?
She doesn't want to go. See.
Okay. He's fine. Yeah. Okay. Never a dull moment. So sorry about that, guys. So my mom's in town. It's her first time coming to see our new son, and so she just wanted to take him for a walk. So they are on their way now, and I'm back with you. So most embarrassing roles in terms of acting. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm pretty shameless. Maybe I haven't always been, but maybe I've been broken down to the point now where it takes a lot to really embarrass me. But I did oh man, I don't know why when I think of like embarrassing stuff, I immediately go to like times when I was like almost naked or something. I played a naked ghost on Ghost Whisperer, so I did a lot of scenes with Jennifer Love Hewitt, who I had the hugest crush on when I was in high school. I was obsessed with Party of Five, and a little obsessed with her and Nev Campbell. So then I'm shooting this episode of Ghost Whisperer, playing a naked ghost, and I'm basically just doing all of these scenes with Jennifer Love Hewitt wearing basically a thong. Yeah, it's like a man thong, you know. So that was a little weird, but she was great. She was totally professional and did her best to make me feel comfortable, and it was fun at the end of the day. Probably a more embarrassing experience was working on CSI and having to wear like leather chaps and gosh, what else did I have to wear? Like maybe like assless leather chaps. Yeah, maybe a man thong there too. Some nipple clamps. I don't know. This was a long time ago, but weird stuff and not super comfortable. One other quick one. One time I was working on a show called Night Stalker. I did a guest star on a TV show called Night Stalker, and I had to do my own stunt. And I've told the story at some conventions, but I had an accident and cut the back of my head wide open, bled all over the place, and had to get taken to the hospital for stitches in the middle of shooting. So that was quite embarrassing. Okay. Krista Denning, Gil, I'm finishing a Mad Libs in November. Can you give a noun, audience verb ending in ing? Can you give a noun, audience verb ending in ing? I don't understand. I'm confused. Oh, I see it. I got you. Just any noun? Dumbbell. Is that one word or two? I think it's one. Hang on, let me look that up. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's got to be. Dumbbell. Dumbbell? Yeah, dumbbell. How's that? I guess you're going to get back to me on your whole Mad Lib thing? Okay, cool. BJ Xmas. BJ Xmas. Get your minds out of the gutters. I'm dreaming of a BJ Xmas, just like the ones I used to know. Okay, ridiculous. Are there other aspects of the entertainment industry you would also like to pursue? Writing, directing, producing? Yeah, I think so. I mean, nothing that has like really pulled me strongly in that direction. I really enjoy being an actor, and I'm just so focused on that, and I don't think I'm trying to limit myself. I have written one screenplay, which I guess is technically still in development, even though I haven't looked at it in a few years. Writing a screenplay was definitely, one of the hardest things I've ever done, up there with being a dad, honestly. Like being a parent's it's on a different level. But yeah, writers, man, it helped me like have much more a deeper respect for writers and what it's like to be a writer. And it was one of those things where day in and day out, it was hard for me to detach from that world that I was creating. And but I had a blast doing it, and I know that I can do it. But it's not something that I'm feeling like I really want to do again anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, maybe one day producing, directing could be cool. I still feel like I want more experience on sets. Even though I've worked a fair amount, I still want more before I would want to maybe pursue directing something. Though I know that I could do it, so we'll see. just a noun for her. Oh, that's from earlier. Thanks, Britt. Okay, Evelyn Gennardi. In Once Upon a Time, when you were gutting fish, why did costume department put you in a thick sweater? Is that customary? Thank you. That's a great question, Evelyn. I would say that wearing a sweater like that is not customary while gutting fish, and it shouldn't be customary like ever. That sweater, I remember I flew up to Vancouver. They wanted to do a fitting for me for this sweater. I flew up, and then I was going to start shooting like the next day or a couple days later, and I remember the wardrobe. One of the wardrobe people brought 3 sweaters to my hotel room to try on, and she laid them all out on the bed, and I was like, okay, this one's cool. This one I don't mind. This one not at all. I do not like this one. Well, guess which one they picked. Of course, the one that I was not feeling, and it was that turtleneck sweater. I think they thought it made me look like the Old Spice man or something, which I wasn't really feeling. And yeah, it was hard enough to literally cut the heads off fish. Like I was really chopping real fish for, I don't know, an hour and a half that morning, just one after another. And I was so scared that I was going to like accidentally cut one of my fingers off or something and have one of those awful moments. But I didn't, thank God. But yeah, it was not the most fun morning of shooting. I will say that. But it's nice to know you liked me in the sweater, Evelyn. Last question, Ash 4580. What is the first thing you would really like to do once restrictions are lifted? Oh, dinner and a movie. Go to one of our favorite restaurants. You know, it might be a while before we can go to a crowded restaurant, but I mean, I've only eaten inside a restaurant once in the past 7 months, and that was when we were shooting outside Toronto. You know, I just would love to sit at a sushi bar and have amazing sushi, and then go to a crowded movie theater and watch a movie on a big screen. Yeah. Oh, and take my daughter to the park to play on the playground. Like that one it's so hard, you know, like kids they adapt, and she's been wonderful through all this, but she's still kind of like doesn't understand why she can't go to the playground. Like she wants to play on the playground. So that would definitely be up there as well. All right, guys, I think we are out of time. I hope you enjoyed that. I just want to say I miss you all. I love you. Thanks for being here with me. Hopefully we can do this again soon in person. Hopefully in Chicago, I believe in June. It'll be such a nice reunion. Hopefully we can all be back together. I wish you all the best. Please stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to one another, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much for coming to join us today, Gil. Tipping is now ended, and we will announce the winner momentarily. Thanks to everyone who's here with us today, and coming up next, we have Elena Huffman. Make sure you're signed up on our email list and follow us at Creation ENT on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for announcements on more virtual content. Our winner today is Ash 4580. Congratulations. We will be emailing you shortly with your link to your Zoom call. And if not, stay in the chat and we will contact you there.